Commendations are still coming the way of the Nigerian Senate for bowing to the electronic transmission of election results by the nation's electoral umpire. This coalition of civil society groups appreciates an electronic transmission of election results devoid of interventions from the Nigerian Communications Commission and the National Assembly. The group believes electronic transmission of results guarantees credibility of the electoral process and wants the bill signed into law before the November 6 Anambra State Governorship election.
We are calling on the conference committee not to go to sleep. This is October. We would be grateful and we would give all of you presents and gifts and call you heroes if by the end of October the conference committee has finished harmonizing the electoral amendment bill, so that by November, or maybe before November, it has gotten to the office of Mr. President.
Welcoming this e-transmission of electoral results would help us as a nation and ensure that everyone is in line with the vision and the mission of this nation.
Our leaders must understand that impunity will not serve anybody any good. The only way that we can have a win-win situation for everybody, both the winners and the losers, is for us to have credible electoral process, which will ensure that those who lose will know that they are gracious in defeat and the winners will be humbled in victory.
The October 2020 EndSARS protest by youths in Nigeria against police brutality will go down in history as one of the darkest moments in the country. Lagos, the commercial capital of the country, was the worst hit after hoodlums hijacked the protest to wreak havoc on the states. 1 year after, civil society groups and some members of the EndSARS movement are bracing up to mark the anniversary of the Lekki toll gates protest. This coalition of civil society groups are warning against protests that could be hijacked to foment breakdown of law and order in the states.
2, we appeal to those planning to stage another anniversary protest to have a rethink in view of the likelihood of the forces of evil hijacking their protests again to unleash mayhem.
The group also called on the Nigerian police to recognize the fundamental human rights of citizens and exhibit professionalism in its effort to protect human rights of residents of Lagos to move without hindrance. Ayodele Zubaku, TVC News, Lagos.
In a judgment of 5-member panel of the justices of the court, the appeal filed by Judo Keke was dismissed on the grounds of being an abuse of court processes lacking in merit and substance. Justice Mary Peter Odili, who delivered the lead judgment, awarded a sum of 1 million naira against Mr. Judo Keke to be paid to APGA and Victor Oye. Justice Odili upheld the judgment of the Court of Appeal, Kano Division, which had earlier dismissed the suit of Mr. Okeke. The Apex Court held that the appellants engaged in forum shopping and gross abuse of court processes to get favorable judgment to suit their own purposes. The unanimous judgment also took a swipe at Mr. Okeke and some lawyers for attempting to mislead the court through multiple cases over the same subject matter.
Final court, and when the final court speaks, you will have to comply. The final cause of the conclusion that the matter was not proper before there is an abuse of process, we've all learned from it, and that is it.
Jigawa High Court judgment delivered in March was void and set aside by the Court of Appeal, Kano Division, on March 8, 2021, on the ground that the High Court of Jigawa lacked jurisdiction to have entertained the suit. The Supreme Court also agreed that the election of political officers was the internal affair of a political party and cannot be challenged in court.